And joining me now from the St. Pete Times, movie critic Steve Persall. Steve, thanks for being here.
Nice to see you again.
You've come up with a list of fall movies coming out. There's 20 in the list. Some of them have been released.
Right.
Let's start with some that haven't been released, or one that hasn't been released here, and it's called 50/50.
50/50 opens up on September 30th. One of the better movies I've seen this year. It doesn't sound like it would be that appealing to start with. You've got a guy who suffers from cancer. Best buddy gets him through.
Don't do this.
What are you talking about?
Please don't do this.
You said you liked this.
You're gonna look stupid,
You
man.
said you would do it.
You're gonna look weird.
Come on, let's just do it. Wait a minute. What do you use these for?
My body.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, one of our best young actors, takes on this role. Seth Rogen, from Funny People, comes back and plays the best buddy. But the movie works because it really has a young, hip vibe to an old Disease of the Week movie cliche. I like to sort of say it's a combination of 500 Days of Summer in terms of endearment.
Another movie coming out, October 7th, Real Steel. What's Real Steel?
Real Steel is Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Hugh Jackman plays a down-and-out boxer who gets back into the game when the game has changed, where we're having robots doing our boxing for us.
Transformers. I hated Transformers.
It looks like it. Well, they're big robots. They're going to be slapping each other, so they're not as big as the Transformer guys are. But it's going to be a lot of the same kind of stuff. And it seems like a summer movie that lost its way and sort of now shows up in the fall. But I think it's going to be pretty popular.
One of the others, November 4th. Tower Heist.
I'm not a big Ben Stiller fan. I understand you aren't.
No,
too.
well, I was trying to remember the last Ben Stiller movie I actually saw that I liked.
I mean, he's gotten into the sort of the kiddie stuff every once in a while, but this looks like a very good caper comedy.
You would have seizures on a regular basis. All the kids would be crying, and your eyes are rolling back, and the foam and coming out. It was very scary. Asthma doesn't cause seizures. Why'd you bail me out? Because I have a job.
Little seizure boy want to try to rob somebody, huh? What you trying to steal?
$20 million.
Eddie Murphy, Matthew Broderick, Alan Alda plays a Bernie Madoff type of character who ends up ripping off the employees of the high-rise apartment house where he lives, and they decide to get back at him by stealing $20 million from him. Eddie Murphy looks like this is a nice little comeback comedy role for him.
I get worried when I hear big names like that and so many big names in the same movie, because you think, how much writing can you do for each? How can each shine? How can each stand out? Do you think it's a problem?
Matthew Broderick, Casey Affleck, these are smart actors. They're not going to...
I like Casey a lot better than Ben.
They're not going to overtax themselves, and they're not going to get in the way that much. Gabourey Sidibe from Precious is in here, too. She looks very funny. Check out the trailer online and tell me if you don't think it looks like it's going to be pretty darn funny.
Okay, and the one that you say is going to be the big one no matter what, November 18th, The Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 1.
It's the 800-pound vampire and werewolf in the room. You can't stop this anymore, no matter, it's critic proof. I have not heard really any good professional critics say that they liked any of the first movies, but the fans love them. The people who have read, the Stephanie Meyer's books just eat them up.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not a big fan.
You don't like Taylor Lautner's abs? Come on. You don't like Robert Pattinson's pouty lips? Come on.
And everyone, it reminds me a lot of pasty people. It reminds me of living up north again.
It's like going to Ybor City on a Saturday night, and you'd probably find better actors in Ybor too.
Steve Persall, thank you very much. And where can we find this?
You can find it on TampaBay.com and look for the features section and check it out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Staying with Hollywood this morning, our Eric Waxler chats with